Hello everyone, this is Record of Ragnatalk, the podcast about the manga and anime Record of Ragnarok, and chapters 93 and 94 have dropped. This month was a double chapter, and I really thought that it was going to be the end of round 10, and simply put, it isn't. It is not the end of round 10. I have some thoughts on that, but first, I gotta go through and tell you all about what happens in these chapters. First thing that stood out to me was that you have some artists from the previous round. You have Michelangelo and Johann Sebastian Bach from round 2, and you have Hokusai from round 5, I believe. They're talking about how beautiful it is to see Okita and his glowing sword aura ability, which is cool. I like seeing the different historical audience members. And then we finally see her, the 6th Valkyrie Skalmood, Okita's Volander. Man, I'm happy she's here, and she's awesome, man. She's really cool. I like the pretty Valkyries. You know, I feel like we've only had Valkyries so far, at least ones that have won, that are sort of like the lolly, sort of small characters. I like the more mature Valkyrie. The last time I'd say a grown-looking Valkyrie won was back in round 3 with Hurst and Kojiro Sasaki. But man, I still think Okita's probably going to win this. So yeah, I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing more of this Valkyrie. So the Valkyrie's ability is sort of being able to give Okita the experience of being a swordsman he would have gained if not for his untimely premature death, which is a really interesting concept. So it's not like specifically only Okita's sword. It's not like just, Okita only needs a sword for this. He needs like this Valkyrie to help him out and become the ultimate swordsman, and this is the last battle of a swordsman Okita will have, at least according to Brunhild. Okita then makes the power scalers upset, thankfully, by pretty much going so fast that Susanoo can only defend. He doesn't have any time to counterattack. He just has time to defend against Okita, and it sort of traps Susanoo. And Okita, it says that Okita wrote down all of his techniques, and that he is going so far in his power with his sword techniques that he has transcended humanity, that what he is doing is exceeding the human limit. And Okita, much like Susanoo, turned into a bird and observed humanity sort of learning swords in his own way, in his own backstory. We now have Okita kind of turning into a bird of his own and soaring into the heavens, looking like a pretty cool hawk. It was called, I hope I said this right, Tenenrishin Ryu, the kite that returns to the heavens. Okita then pierces Susanoo's sword, the sword that was used by the gods, it was put together by the gods and humanity. They teamed up to make this epic sword for Susanoo, and Okita pierces through it and stabs Susanoo. Susanoo then does something straight out of Baki, where he, I guess, imagines or feels a sword in his soul, and he cuts Okita with a non-existent sword. Like, you know that when Baki fought Yujiro Hanma, Baki fought his dad, and then they had that thing where it's like, they're invisible tables, and they're eating an invisible meal with invisible chairs and invisible cups. That's what this is, I guess. And Susanoo cuts Okita's bones in half. His left leg and his left arm, he cuts the bones in half. Susanoo has officially reached the peak of his swordsmanship, in which He's so good at swordsmanship. He doesn't even need an actual sword. He just needs to pretend, and then he's got one. So, man, I'm going to be honest. Before I read this month's chapter, I was really upset. Because I honestly thought round 10 would end. I thought it should end. I thought that it had been dragging out. But, like, honestly, I'm having so much fun with this fight. I'm okay that it didn't end this month. I think it should end next month. Apparently, this fight has gone on officially a year. I think it's had its time. And it's been a very fun fight. It's been a very creative fight. But, I say it's time for it to wrap it up. But I had a lot of fun with these two chapters. We got the Valkyrie introduced. Susanoo is now pulling out his ultimate technique. Okita is looking like he's in rough shape. But, you know, that's part of Ragnarok. That's usually how these Ragnarok fights go. I'm excited for it next month. Hopefully it ends, and we can move on to whatever the next round is.